Anyway, two things we're going to talk about today. Talk about Realtor.ca tax that California is implementing. Hey everyone, it's Rob Golfi here with Comrade Zarini. Brian is away, coming back from vacation. He's always on vacation. I don't know. I think if I had to hire that guy, I don't know. Anyway, no, good guy. The guy's always there, responsive and everything. Anyway, two things we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about Realtor.ca officially launches open offers across Canada. And we're going to talk about the mansion tax that California is implementing. It starts April 1st. Can you imagine the closings that are happening in the next 7 days in California? Crazy. Conrad, I know you know everything. You got the pulse on everything in this country and also the United States. Question. Realtor.ca officially launches open offers across Canada. I mean, the one line here, it says that you have a choice to have it open or not. So what's the sense of having it? Like either it's like an open offer or not. What's the difference? Like it's like the other difference is dealing with a realtor. We say, hey, we got an offer coming in, and that's it. Like how much more information can you give?
Well, it's interesting. This thing is coming, now and then. It goes province to province, right? It changes province to province. We don't even have any rules on it in Ontario yet. We're just waiting. They say it's coming. The option will be, and from what I understand here in Ontario, our licensing body is going to allow the seller to have that option to have it open, and then go to all the buyer representatives and say, hey, it's going to be open. And it's to the discretion of the seller what information is open. So it could just be price, it could just be terms, conditions. What I'd like to see, though, is I don't mind the data being out there. I'd love to know if I'd love to get information. Like if I'm in an area, let's say Hamilton West, and I'd like to know in real time, what are some of the conditions that people have? I wouldn't mind knowing some of that. What are deposits averaging in areas? I wouldn't mind getting the knowledgeable for the consumer, but I don't know if it's going to go that far, and I don't know how well it's going to be articulated with consumers, and I don't know how many sellers are going to want to do it.
Yeah, no, I get you. Here's what I think. I think if you're going to open it up and you have an open offer situation, like let's say you're asking $900,000 for a house, guy comes in at $800,000. Well, I could see that if a registered offer at $800,000 is publicly, you could see it. You could publicly see the number that the offer is. I could see some other guy say, "Hey, you know what? I would have paid $825, $850 for that place. Maybe I might put an offer in." I could see that happening. But in the fast market, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's always a negative that comes with them doing this. And we don't know the ramifications. I know this company, Open. What's it called? Open. Is it just called Open?
Yeah, it's Open. Yeah, they're from Australia. Yeah,
Australia. Now, obviously, they've been using it out there. Every country has different rules. Like the UK, they've got something different. You know a lot about the UK and Europe and stuff like that. And in Australia, I'm not sure what their thing is. But have they dug deep enough to know? Like, is this this could be a negative for the seller. It is a positive to a certain degree. It could deter people from saying, forget it, they got an offer at that much, I'm not even interested, I'm going to walk away. Meanwhile, maybe they would look at it at the house, but it's going to deter people from looking at the house. Like it's going to change the dynamics of our business completely.
I think so. Look, in Australia, they do auction. Auction is the way of choice. So the fact that what gets me about this is now we've been doing it for so many years. It would be like Australia going to closed offers all of a sudden like that. So this is going to take time to get into the system. But you know yourself, Rob, and again, you navigate, you help your clients and consumers make a decision. If I'm the highest offer, I'm 100,000 over, let's just say, over the next highest, and I got an inspection and a home inspection, and then I get accepted, and I know that I'm 100,000 over. Well, when the inspection's over, I'm going to be now renegotiating, and this is where my big thing is. Like, I'm going to say, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to give you 25,000 of my original offer because I know, or go back to the other guy if he wants to buy it for what he came in at. take my 25, forget my 100. Like at the end of the day, I think that's where the problems are going to lie very quickly.
You know what? I may even do a test on this. I know it's not like I've got a property. I'm just thinking about a property. I say, you know what? I may do this as an open offer, just as a test pilot. I'm not sure if I can do that or not, but do that and see what kind of response I get from it. See what the reaction is from the realtors, and see what the reaction is from the public. I don't know. Like, I mean, I do think in a market where you have high-priced houses, that it will help the homeowner, because some guy's going to come in with a lower offer. And now, does that mean they've accepted it? No, they haven't accepted an offer. It just means there's an offer registered. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
That's it. So somebody's going to say, hey, listen, there's an offer registered at $800,000. You know what? I'll pay $810 for this, or $820. I'll pay more than that. And even though they're asking $900, yeah, and that's where people will have a limitation of how far they'll go up from there. And I get it. I could see that in a slower market, maybe possibly, or overpriced homes, and see, you know, somebody says, hey, I'll pay that much money. If that guy's willing to go that low, I'll go that low. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually, now you're pushing the market down to a certain degree, and you might end up selling houses that are overpriced that wouldn't have sold on a regular open market. Like, I mean, like people would just not look at the house, or just not even bother putting an offer in, because nobody wants to waste their time on stuff like that. So it's
well, you know, look, I've always felt that this is a great time to be in real estate, bar none. And I think that, you know, it's not a one magic bullet for everything. You know, the ebbs and flows of this market. Somebody the other day called me and said, hey, I heard the fall is going to be really bad. Well, how do you know that? Well, some bank said that. I said, well, how do they know? Like, you know, look, this thing moves like in a 6 weeks, you know, 6 to 8 weeks out. Like, it's appointments, it's the amount of offers going over list, it's inventory. There's a lot of factors. The cool thing about real estate today and being a real estate professional is there's a lot of data and information that we can help guide our buyers and sellers to use the best tool in the toolbox for that time frame, right? That moment in time. So I don't think this open thing is going to be, like you said, you know, maybe in a slower market it might work, maybe not. Sometimes, you know, we have clients that waited. They had that perfect ideal buyer that found their house, and you know, it fit their checklist, and they're willing to pay the price. So I don't really know. I think I think honestly, this open thing, I think is going to have a very short negative. Life. Yeah, it'll be cool for a little while. Then everybody will go back to the other system, and which has worked for years and years.
That's it. I truly believe that. I think it's just going to be, there's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of information on this, and all of a sudden, 6 weeks from now, it's forgotten, and then you might get the odd, like you said, you might get the odd guy come out with it every once in a while, and it may come back to life in the next boom. It's hard to tell. Like in my opinion, I think the next boom is going to be 2026 and 27, and I say you better make sure you own houses before then. So another aspect. Okay, so California, the mansion tax. Okay. Yes. So starting April 1st, a 4% tax on property sales above $5 million, and then rising to 5.5% on sales above $10 million. Well, we don't. I mean, I'm sure Oakville and some parts of Toronto will have that. So a $5 million sale would include a $200,000 tax, and a $10 million sale would include a $550,000 tax, which is typically paid by the seller. Isn't this bullshit? Like, I mean, already people are leaving California. Why would they want to do this? Like, like what's going on with that state? Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I think they want to reduce the population. I think they have population overload there, and they're just trying to get rid of people, because you can see it in Nevada, like and Las Vegas, and they're creating this Hollywood Hills kind of approach to residential real estate, upper end. You got Nevada, Texas, and Arizona really trying to appeal to and Seattle as well, like very much all around. They're just a feeder. California is a feeder for all these other no tax states to get bigger populations. I have no idea.
Hollywood's going to be leaving. They're going to put a new Hollywood someplace, because most of those houses are owned by like like executive owners,
Yep.
like studio owners and movie stars and all these. There's a lot of money in that state, and these guys are losing it. Look at even Phil Mickelson years ago. He got flack from leaving the state of California, wanted to leave the state of California, move to Florida because of the tax situation.
Yep.
Well, now I get it. Like everybody's gonna say, well, good for him now. But back then they were kind of crucifying the guy from leaving the state. But now look what they're doing. And you know what? And this here, what they're doing in California, I truly believe it's going to happen to us. Now, I did some checking, and I think is it $4 million between Hamilton, all the Hamilton and surrounding areas, and Burlington. In the last 2 years, 177 homes have sold. Over $4 million. Okay, so they're not going to put us at a benchmark of 4 million or 5 million. It's going to start at probably 2 million. Well, look what they did with the luxury cars on us.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you.
Yeah, you're smarter than I am.
But look what they did with the luxury cars. Is it over 100,000? You have to pay a percentage more or something.
10%. Yeah, 10%. Yep.
That bullshit. You know what I mean? Like the reasons people work hard to get ahead in life, but they're putting all the speed bumps trying to slow entrepreneurs and hardworking people to get ahead in life. And they're the ones that are employing people to get ahead. So I don't know. Like I just feel that it's a bullshit tax, and I got a feeling that. I mean, I don't know who would put it in. Is Trudeau, or would it be Doug Ford?
No, it'd be probably a federal thing. Yeah, but you know what? Look, at the end of the day, look, there's talk of 2% increase in HST. They spent a lot of money. Healthcare, aging population, and that they're just going to be. Look, it's interesting when you see what's happening in France with this 2-year, right? That that people are very angry. Unions are angry in France about now the retirement going up to 64. Like we kind of look at that like, well, really, like God bless us, like they got it pretty good. But for them, it's changing their whole plans and their lives. Yeah. Here, if they increase by 2%, the alcohol tax is going up, I think April 1st. They're thinking of increasing HST 2%. Like our tax-free day is going to be sometime in September, October. So they're really compressing our ability to live our lifestyles and spend the money the way we want to spend it, right?
And then they're bringing Galen Weston to interview him because they think he's making too much money for groceries, and then they want to tax more on alcohol and tobacco and everything else, and then they're worried about him. And they want to add another 2% on HST. You know how much that hurts? Remember in the 90s, early 90s, it was who was it? Mulroney. Was it him that implemented the HST?
Yeah, the HST. Like, well, it's GST.
A lot of money. Buying a car, you had to add another 13%. That was a hard pill to swallow back in the 90s, especially the recession that happened. That was a long-lasting recession in the 90s. So I don't know,
it's terrible.
And then now I'm reading a lot of stuff about also the tax that they're putting on, especially the people from Western New York that own cottages in Crystal Beach, right? I feel sorry for those guys. They own cottages. They probably bought them for like 20 grand, like 25, 50 years ago. It's passed down to generations. And now these cottages are probably worth $500,000. They're going to get taxed at, I think, 1% on the value of the cottage. So I guess that's starting this summer or this April. Is it April?
I believe also? So, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Holy smokes. You're right. We're not going to, it's going to be September by the time we hit zero. You're right.
Yeah, well, the thing is, look, at the end of the day, too, the other hidden tax that's really is annoying, too, is the development charges, the HST on new construction, all that stuff, land transfer tax. You're talking a townhouse in Hamilton, you could be talking $200,000 just in taxes. That's ridiculous. Like let's say a $900,000 townhouse, $200,000 of it is tax.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. No wonder our everything's expensive in Canada. Housing's expensive. It's because our government is just making it so expensive. Anyway, Conrad, thanks for your time, and we will see you next week. And Yeah, thanks, man. Take care.
Cool, man.
Have a great,
Okay,
great
ciao.
time. Bye-bye.